there's a dynamic that I think we don't talk about enough in the Black community. I'm not sure, how other communities deal with it. But in terms of the Black community, there's a little gray area that we don't talk about. At least I don't see it. Now, being as though my name is the awkward Black guy, kind of feel like I'll be doing y'all a disservice if I don't talk about it. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about dating when you're let's talk about life when you're an awkward Black child, an awkward Black woman, awkward Black man, from childhood up. Now, I'm not going to oversimplify it. Well, I'm not going to oversimplify, like I said, being an awkward Black woman, because never been a woman. I just have been awkward and Black, so don't know. But I will tell you this, from the time coming up till now, like as an adult, I see the effects. I see how it affects our people and how we limit and we determine who's Black and who's not Black. And how we push people to the side. We're already a marginalized people, right? And we push people to the side that don't fit a box. So the awkward Black guy, the awkward Black woman, they're often looked at as not Black enough, not Black at all sometimes, right? Because they don't fit a narrative, they don't fit a stereotype, right? They're uncool, they have less friends, right? And a lot of us are the ones that suffer from mental health issues, right? Because we're in scenarios where we don't have the confidence because people don't make it. We're constantly punched down on, right? And you spend a lot of your life like that. I knew when I was in middle school, I knew a young Black girl that, she was my age. She liked Sailor Moon. She liked the Spice Girls. You know what I'm saying? She liked just like stuff that people made they made it seem like that wasn't something Black people should like, right? A bunch of stuff. She liked Christina Aguilera, NSYNC, all that kind of stuff, right? And granted, none of that stuff, we didn't see Black representation in any of that. I get it, right? But regardless of the fact, this was a young Black girl that was a young Black girl, regardless of, like, there's no running from that. You Black, you're not. You know what I'm saying? And I watched people, her friends were predominantly white and Asian. I don't think she had any Black friends, And I think that was for a reason, because most of the young Black women at that school, young Black girls at that school, they were all like, into the same thing. You different various rappers and R&B singers, right? And, doing the Tootsie, back then everybody did the Tootsie Roll and all, like, so like lots of little trying to be grown dances that we all did as Black people back at that time, right? But you had to do certain things. You had to dress a certain way, you know what I'm saying? If you weren't wearing a Nietzsche and Pelly Pell and Baby Fat and whatever else was, was the popular thing to wear for Black people, you lost points. If your hair wasn't done the way Black people do their hair, then you lost points. And this isn't even discussing, the Black people that didn't have enough money to do certain things. This particular person spent most of her time, she would wear the little choker neck. She dressed like Britney Spears, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she dressed like that. And to me, I didn't and I don't consider that white. I considered her a Black person that just liked other things than the norm for Black people. And, at that age, who's to even say what the norm is, I'm not sure where her life has taken her now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. But I'm willing to bet that her people, us, did her the disservice of not making her feel beautiful enough. But also just Black. right? Because beauty is one thing, but just pushed aside by your own people is different, right? You could not be attractive and still be like, oh, that's a sister right there. That's a brother right there, right? So, and I never once heard her talk down about her people, about us. So, I mean, and so I had to really think about that. You know, we did her a disservice back then. Now, by that same token, lots of black boys like that I've seen, right? Just like I've seen lots of black girls like that. And the black boys, Dragon Ball Z, the black boys watching all the stuff that all the anime, Pokemon, all the stuff that, you know, they wouldn't think, you know, as a young black boy, I can attest to this. When I was a young black boy, if you were not out there trying to become a football player or a basketball player or a ladies' man, when I was, you know, middle school age, elementary school age, then you weren't being black, right? You weren't being black. Now I will say this, some places you go, that stigma doesn't exist. But you know, in middle school, I can't get up and walk over there, right? So that's just to the people that'll have something to say about that, right? As a middle schooler, you don't have the ability in your mind usually to go, oh, this is wrong. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? They're just tripping. They'll figure it out when they turn 36, right? You don't have that ability, so it continues to hurt you until you find out. So I say all that to say this. When you fast forward from being, you know, that awkward black boy, awkward black girl, you become awkward black guy, awkward black lady, right? And you have basically a more secure, confident version of what we were before. But the fact still stands that dating can be hard, right? So you could be like how I was, where I kind of hid being awkward, right? I kind of tried to run away from it. It came out, you know what I'm saying? You can't hide it all the way. But I found myself kind of diving into the things that I had in common with certain people, right? I would have certain things in common with people, usually negative, unfortunately. And that's another effect of, you know, issues, you know, from childhood, right? But again, you know, you come to that point where you get more confident and secure in who you are. And it's as an adult, it's nobody's job, you know, to help that work out. It's just kind of, you get the help when you're young, or you got to do the work later. So you do the work or you don't, whatever it is, hopefully you become secure and confident in who you are. Here's the thing. We don't talk about dating and being awkward and black, right? Dating is different. I used to know a person, sister, right? And she did not check most boxes if you were to ask her brother, hey, yo, what do you look for in a woman? She didn't check most boxes. That wouldn't be the woman that he would probably talk about, right? She didn't fit the beauty standards for a beautiful black woman to him. And I had to ask myself, you know, in regards to dating outside of your race and things like that, right? Would I be mad? Not that my opinion matters, that's her life, right? But would I have been mad if she would have dated and or married outside of her race? and the answer is no. But also, aside from me not having no right to dictate, like, you know what I'm saying, who she, you know, falls in love with or whatever, aside from that, like, you have to think, this person has not been shown love and shown that she was attractive to people that look like her. So why would she spend her entire life looking for somebody who doesn't think she looks attractive? She wants to experience love. She wants to be sought after. You know what I'm saying? And that same goes to men, right? I know, to be honest, I know plenty awkward black men and awkward black women. And I call myself a champion of them, right? But I know that it could be I know that to a lot of black people, I check the box in terms of what you would think a regular black guy would be. But I wasn't always this way. So some people stayed the same, which is great. Unfortunately, I led my life down another road, which probably wasn't the best road to go down. Got to pick myself back up, right, and get cracking. But for a long time, I was veering off. So now that I'm back on track, I kind of have two sides of it. When it comes to, sorry, I don't know what's going on. When it comes to, as a young black man and dating, it's the same problem. We have to, what happens is that man oftentimes will end up dating outside of his race because he can't find a suitor. He can't find somebody suitable within his race, meaning somebody that thinks he's attractive, right? Because he's not checking off the beauty standards. For black men, it's just not checking off. Other races don't have the same. It's not that they love us even though we're not attractive. No. Everybody has their own opinion everybody has their own beauty standard. What might be a beauty standard in white society or Indian society or Latino society or Asian society, whatever, that might not be a beauty standard in black society. So what that could mean is, got to get from in front of cuz. What that could mean is, basically, that can show itself as this person might not check any boxes for the black community. I'm talking about like no sisters are gonna be checking for him, right? But he walks in, he starts hanging around maybe Asian people, right? And maybe he's getting looks from the Asian girls, right? And that's no shade on sisters. It's black people. I think everybody has their own beauty standard. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that's what I truly believe, to be honest with you. I think we all got our own beauty standard that we hold each other up to. And that's okay. But I think that for us, we have to realize that there's a group within black people who are not, they're alternative in a sense, right? We might not like the same things. We might not have the same interests. Some of us start off that way, and some of us finish that way. Some of us go our whole life that way, right? And we don't talk about it. Those black people are beautiful. Those black people are unique, maybe, right? Depending on where you are. And that's okay. People are unique. But I think that if you have, this might be a question for y'all too, like this might be something you might have thought about. I think that the real issue, this is just my opinion, I think the real issue lies in the fact that the awkward black girl and the awkward black boy don't end up coming together, because the awkward black boy and the awkward black girl like the regular black girl and the regular black boy, right? And those particular groups are not checking for the awkward blacks. And that's the problem.